Commanders 28-7 last night on Monday Night Football. They improved to 5-3 on the season. The Commanders dropped to 3-5. And in the World Series last night, the Dodgers come through in the 18th inning, 6-5 on a Freddie Freeman walk-off home run. They'll be back tonight at 5 o'clock. Dodgers currently a minus 195 favorite. Shane Bieber will be going for the Blue Jays, while Shohei Ohtani will get the stripe for the Dodgers. It's time to say goodnight to that check engine light. With the free AutoZone Fix Finder service, it'll help troubleshoot the likely cause of your light for free so you can drive with peace of mind. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Welcome to the Fletch Zone.
I'm Ben Fletcher. That's Sammy Long.
No fluff, just facts.
Looks like reports of the demise were greatly exaggerated.
Mahomes takes the snap in his left knee, keeping the feet alive, sings it late for the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown, Kansas City.
The Chiefs roll on Monday night, and that guy did it again.
Full count on Freeman. Little delivers. Freeman. It's one high in the air. Straight away center field. Marshall at the wall. Goal!
Freddie ends an 18-inning classic in Game 3. Looks like Shohei will have a new walk-up song.
I'm walking, yes, and I'm talking.
Plus the latest on the Padres' search for a manager. Yeah, Sammy's going to be a little obnoxious today.
Would you please shut the hell up?
Now, live from the studios of San Diego Sports 760, we enter the Flex Zone.
And let's get it going today on a Tuesday. What's going on, everybody? Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock today. John and Jim will take over. Then gonna be a kind of weird show, if we're being completely honest, because there's going to be some credit given to those Los Angeles Dodgers, man. One of the most incredible World Series games of anyone's lifetime. And that's a fact. It happened in 2018 too, and the Dodgers also were in that one, an 18-inning World Series game. But last night was chaos. If you stayed up for it, congratulations. If you stayed up to it for it and you live in Toronto, double congratulations, because I don't know what time that game finished up. But absolute chaos in the World Series as Freddie Freeman wins it with a walk-off home run to end an 18-inning extravaganza. I made it to about inning 13, if I'm being completely honest, before I fell asleep. Sammy, did you stay up for the whole thing?
I did stay up for the entire thing. All my buddies, we were like texting back and forth. That was the greatest baseball game I personally watched, just in terms of, I don't know that I've ever watched a game.
Did you see the one in 2018 that also went 18 innings?
Yes. In terms of this one though, because they kept saying it on the broadcast and they were right. I've never seen a game where there were terrible defensive plays, amazing defensive plays, big time home runs by both teams, unsung pitchers out of the bullpen for both teams that unless you're a diehard fan of that team, you probably don't know who they are coming through. You had the Clayton Kershaw with all the playoff failures he's had coming in and with bases loaded, 2 outs. If you wrote it in a movie script, it would feel fake, but it was crazy that both teams fought that well last night. I mean, that was just, honestly, hats off to both teams. That was just a crazy game to watch, and as just a baseball fan, was a fun game to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it was pure chaos. If you had money on it, I can't imagine what you were doing all the way up in the middle of the night. But nutso finish for them. Congratulations, I guess, on the world of baseball, because we got a classic last night. We really did. Another one tonight. Somehow, those players, after that 18-inning grueling effort, obviously a highly emotional game, you're turning around and you're playing tonight. And Shohei Ohtani, he was on base 9 times in yesterday's game.
9 times.
9 times is going to turn around and now pitch tonight. Absolute chaos. We'll dive deeper into that game as the show goes on. J.R. Tolver, maybe the greatest wide receiver in Aztec football history, is going to be jumping on the show today at 1:30 to talk some Aztecs football with us. We'll get deeper into the World Series. Yes, we will talk about Sammy's Chiefs, who appear to be all the way back. Everything.
Waiting for you to mention it.
How about the first couple minutes of that game? Can we live in that where Mahomes throws 2 interceptions? Because that was pretty fun, if you ask me.
Yeah, they had to make it interesting for everyone hating on the Chiefs. They had to make it.
Lattimore, who got the interception early. That was
a rough play.
That was a hell of a play by Lattimore, who's had a rough season so far, and then Kelsey just letting the ball go right off his fingertips.
I just want to say to the 858 who asked if they should hit the spread, and I told you hit the first half spread on Washington, and then that the Chiefs would blow them out in the second half. I'm not going to say I called it exactly. I called called the score 30-14. I gave the Commanders too much credit.
Our picks did smash, though. We said the Chiefs will cover the spread and the under would happen in the game. Now, did we listen to our own picks? No.
You did not listen to your own pick.
I immediately went home and hit the over like an idiot. If I would have just stuck with my gut, it would have worked out perfectly. But we live to regret, don't we? That's just what we do here. So we'll have another World Series game tonight. Hopefully this one is just one game and not 2 games back to back, because that's what last
Their
time
arms
was.
are going to fall off if there is a game like this again.
If you want my honest opinion, I think if the Blue Jays win that game last night, the series goes 7. Because the Dodgers won last night, I'm pretty sure the series goes 5. I don't think the Blue Jays can come back from that. And plus, Springer's hurt now. What's his? Do we know?
Springer oblique injury. That's a big deal for them.
If he's out, that's a huge chunk of their offense that's out. And Springer is one of those emotional leaders also. So if he's gonna miss time here, I don't see you coming back from going 18 innings and losing. The Dodgers are gonna come into tonight's game extra motivated with a little extra juice. The Blue Jays, I don't know how you come back from that.
I think it's really. I'm not going to count them out yet. Yes. Do I think the Dodgers win the World Series? I picked them in 6. I know you picked the Dodgers in 5. It's a more brutal loss. Like whoever lost that game was sitting there going, how did that just happen? Both teams used every part of their bullpen.
Especially with the opportunities they had. I think about the gift that the Dodgers gave them. It was at the 10th inning. It all kind of blends together when Shohei gets thrown out at second base on the attempted steal. Like that's a gift you got from the Dodgers.
Well, and knowing that the Blue Jays, the Dodgers' strength is their starting pitching staff. And theoretically in every game, the Dodgers are going to have the starting pitching advantage. So you get to the starting pitching, you knock Glasnow out of the game. It did feel like a catastrophic loss for the Blue Jays. Now, I will say tonight is interesting they have to win tonight. If they lose tonight, I think that the Dodgers win in 5. Shane Bieber, though, like they didn't save any arms. But if you're looking at the Dodgers, Ohtani was obviously playing last night. He doesn't go super far into games. The Dodgers have been trying to hold him only to 5 to 6 innings.
He kind of has to tonight.
He has to. So if you're the Blue Jays, I don't think it's done yet, but certainly you can't lose. If you lose tonight, Snell's going to close this thing out on Wednesday.
All right, let's get to the big 3 of hour number 1, where Sammy Long takes us through the top stories in the world of sports. Sammy, go ahead and smash it.
You looking for some luck? Want to win?
That is the long shot sounder.
Well done. I'm looking out here because we got people out there. Do you have the big 3?
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? I mean, coworkers. It's time for the top stories of the day. The big 3.
Yeah, Chiefs look good one time, and then all of a sudden, Sammy is just a lunatic with the buttons.
One time? I don't know about one time.
Where are you going here, Sammy?
Oh, look who's coming in. All right, let's start with the World Series. More impressive, Ohtani getting on base 9 times or the Dodger bullpen coming to save the day?
Honestly, the Dodger bullpen, because they had no expectations on them. You kind of expect Shohei Ohtani to either get walked or hit a home run in every single at bat, and that's exactly what he did. Why don't we ask special guest here, Travis Dale, at the real Travis Dale on all social media,
up, dude?
as opposed to the fake Travis Dale. What's more impressive, the Dodgers bullpen coming in or Shohei Ohtani doing Shohei Ohtani things?
Shohei Ohtani, definitely. Actually, I think that I was talking about you with you earlier. I think they should change the rule. You can only intentionally walk someone one time per
I
game.
agree.
And so you force people to pitch to Shohei, force more home runs in games.
Well, make it fun. Like you just take him out of the game. It's kind of crazy. I mean, not that I'm sitting here rooting for the Dodgers to win, but I am rooting to watch a game, not just stay up until midnight watching nothing happen.
But I am with you in the sense of like I don't fault Toronto. If I was managing Toronto, no shot. Am I pitching to him? But I see what you're saying. It's almost like great hitters, your Aaron Judges, your Shohei Ohtanis, your Vladdies that are so much better than everyone else. You get punished for being so good that you're getting intentionally walked all the time. It feels like we want the stars to be performing.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't pitch to him either. Heck no. I mean, look, he was 4 for 4 before they walked him 5 times. I mean, it's insane, but it's just, man, is the game still happening?
Yeah, still going on, actually. Actually, game 2 is about to start in like 5 hours. It's chaos. For those of you wondering, that's Travis Dale. He used to do a show over here called
TD.
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Now we do it over on a different station, 101.5 KGB. And TD, tell everybody what we're doing tomorrow morning. A special game.
Oh, well, we're playing Must Ask You a Question.
Very special game.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
Sammy, what's our next story?
Let's go to Monday Night Football. Chiefs roll the Commanders 28-7.
Blech.
But a little bit broader picture in the NFL. Let's go to the AFC. Who needs home field advantage more? The Colts, Chiefs, Bills, Broncos, or Pats?
INDY, Colts. Look, we expect the Colts to be there at the end this year, which is not something we've been able to say recently. So if the Colts are there at the end this year, they're going to need home field advantage. Yes, TD, your Broncos will be there too.
No, wait. Do we expect the Colts to be there at the end? Do we expect that?
Have they given you any reason to not believe in them?
I just don't know if I expect it.
When I say the end, I mean the postseason. Like, we expect the Colts to get into the postseason as a high seed. They're going to need the home field.
I guess I expect it. I do agree they're going to need the home field, but I don't know if I look at the Colts and go, yep, that's the team that's going all the way. I don't know. I don't know if I feel that yet.
Shammy?
I think the Colts need it the most in terms of home field advantage because I want to give the Colts a lot of credit because they have proven that they are a legit threat in the AFC. I don't think that until I see it, Daniel Jones is going into Buffalo. He's going into Kansas City. He's going into Denver. I don't know that on the road when it gets tight and they are blowing a lot of these teams out. And I give them credit, but they've beaten the Titans twice. They've beaten the Dolphins and the Raiders. And I want to give them credit because the Chiefs have just beat the Raiders and the Commanders with no Jaden Daniels. So I don't want to be a hypocrite. But we do like their best win is the Chargers.
For sure. We do need to see more. But what I will say about Indy that maybe gives me a little more faith in them is that offensive line. Indianapolis' offensive line is blowing holes wide open in whoever they're playing against. And if they have that and they have Jonathan Taylor, that takes so much pressure off of Daniel Jones. I feel like they are a terrible matchup for anyone who plays against them. You got one more?
Yeah, and real quick on that, like the Colts are an indoor team. Any of these teams, the Chiefs, the Broncos, the Pats, the Bills, if this is outside in January, that high-flying offense is not going to be the same, and you're going to have to rely on defense. I think that doesn't really play into their hands. So Spencer Rattler benched for the Saints. Tyler Shucks named starter there in the Big Easy. Do you like the move considering they're in the running for the number 1 overall pick to make a quarterback change?
It's interesting, isn't it? Who's our Saints fan? Is that the 858 number?
That's Marcos, I believe.
Marcos, if you're our Saints fan listening, you gave me a lot of crap a couple weeks ago for talking bad about Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler sucks. Did everyone see that play last week where he threw the pick six and then got absolutely bulldozed on the way for the defender's touchdown? This needed to happen. They got to see what they have in Tyler Shucks because you're right, Sammy. They are trending for that number 1 overall pick. Well, you just picked a quarterback in last year's draft. His name's Tyler Shucks. If you don't see what you got in him, why would you go anywhere else?
And the guy's name is Tyler Shucks.
Oh, Shucks. But it's spelled show. It's spelled SHOUGH.
Just saying.
It's kind of in the name.
That's all.
He's
That's
predisposed to it.
I will say that Rattler was so cool, and that
Spencer
didn't pan
Rattler,
out.
badass name.
Well,
we got some text for TD, but Sammy, what do you think?
Okay, yeah, real quick, we'll get to that. I think this is like, I get it. You want to see what you have. He's an older starting quarterback, even for a rookie. He's 26 years old. But where are the Browns at? Dylan Gabriel is not a franchise quarterback, from what we've seen so far. Listen, I know Shador has a lot of off-the-field stuff, and you worry about his dad and everything going into it, but you did draft the guy, and the Browns do not have an offense, so when are we going to see this dude play, see if you have something? They're about to be picking at the top of the draft, too, and you're going to be sitting there next year if you don't play Shador and be wondering if you have a quarterback sitting on your bench already.
I don't know what they're doing. Pull the trigger. Let's go. Let's see him. I mean, let's do something to create a little life here. I mean, if there's some electricity there, let's rock and roll. You did draft the guy. They act like they don't like him and they didn't want to draft him.
70470, start your message with the word team. That's our text line. 949 texting in says, hey, TD, Broncos going to get pounded by the Chiefs soon. Maybe you and Sammy can wager a bet on that one for the listeners. Miss you.
Travis Dale.
What do we want to wager?
I don't know.
There was a lot of words in there I don't know if I liked.
Pounded?
That was the one.
I thought of all people you would like that.
Let's do one of these, TD. Since we have you here, we're going to go rapid fire on a couple of tweets that I've seen pop up online, and you just give me your reaction quickly, okay? I hope you know I never gave up on you at Demi Lovato.
That's a good tweet. Yeah, that sounds like something I would say, and I did not, Demi. Just so you know, if you're listening.
I bet scientists determined that ants don't have taste buds after they watch them climb all over a dog turd.
I wrote that after I watched a bunch of ants on a pile of
How many milligrams did you take?
It was none. That was just me out there, just
you and your thoughts.
Poop.
Hey, at Hostess Snacks, you guys ever thought of making a cake pop, removing the stick, and then selling them by the sleeve? #cake poppers.
What?
That's
Huh?
a business idea.
What do you think of that? Like if you had like a bunch of cake poppers in a row, and they would be like they look like giant Whoppers. But how cool would that be while you're driving, just to let those slide down your gullet?
That one had a whole 19 views.
That 19 people saw that. Was Hostess one of them?
Yeah, maybe.
One
Here's
at a
another
time,
one.
baby.
Something about the soap dispenser at the laundromat always makes me want to buy it. Is it the tiny boxes? What?
You know when you're at the laundromat and they
No.
have that thing on the wall?
I don't think I've ever been to a laundromat.
You also live in a home. I don't think you go to a laundromat.
I saw a show and there was the thing at the laundromat and I was like, oh, I remember that.
This is
and
actually-
I did want to buy that.
This is my favorite one recently. He says, "We sure that paper sack is the best thing we can package flour in."
Yeah, I agree. That's
I have a question going back to your first tweet. Who gave up on Demi Lovato that you're saying?
Oh, lots of people did.
yeah, lots
That's a
of people.
fact.
Lots of people were out on Demi Lovato. Lots of people were out.
So here's the history of Demi Lovato, especially among TD. You don't mind me speaking for you on this
Oh
one, do you?
no. Demi, if you're listening, I was here the whole time.
Demi Lovato about 6 years ago was a complete smoke show, like top of the mountain.
We're talking cool for the summer.
And then there was a moment, and I think there was some substances involved, that she went downhill a little bit.
I was worried.
Wow.
I was concerned. I wrote letters.
We support women on this show.
Within the last 2 years, she's all the way back. That's
back.
all we're saying.
She back.
Real quick for Travis, 949 wants to know Shakira or Mackenzie Dern strictly for TD.
I don't know who Mackenzie
I don't
Dern
know
is.
Mackenzie
the
Dern
UFC
is either.
fighter.
Hang on.
Oh,
hang
is
on.
that the one who?
She just won over the weekend.
and her press conference went viral. Her weigh-in.
Yes.
Yeah, and Mackenzie. we watched her over in KGB.
You know what? I didn't see the front though. I didn't see the front, and the only photos I saw were as she was walking up, and I would give it to Mackenzie.
Yeah.
So I would have to Google face photos, as I don't know what she looks like.
Face photos,
All right, TD, get the hell
headshots.
out of here.
Okay, all right, I'm out of here.
Thanks
Love you
for being-
guys.
we
Love you
love you
guys.
too.
Yeah, go. I don't know. Whatever baseball team wants to have the most fun.
Wow. At Real Travis Dale, by the way, he's been tweeting a lot recently. He's been trying to get famous over there.
Mhm.
19 people are seeing these
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
And they're
Listen, all
gold.
it takes is one to get noticed.
I have over 200 followers. Woo!
Get him on Twitter at Real Travis Dale, as opposed to the fake Travis Dale, who's a real bastard. We know that. All right, we're going to take a quick break here. Coming up on the other side, that Dodger game is still going on, so let's react to it in progress. It's San Diego Sports 760. You're listening live on the iHeartRadio app. Is this Drake?
The sixth guy, Drizzy.
For the Toronto Blue Jays, I hear he's a big fan. Hey, San Diego Sports 760, we got 13 chances to make you almost as rich as Drake every single hour today on the station with the bonus bucks giveaway every hour from 6 a.m. through 6 p.m. Listen for the keyword, enter it at sportssd.com. Your next chance to win $1,000 coming up at 1 o'clock today. That game was crazy last night. I mean, it's like the 13th inning and it was chaos. We, as our text line pointed out, there was a 5-5 baseball game and then a 1-0 baseball game. Both played last night.
If you went to that game, you got your money's worth for seeing 2 World Series games.
Okay, so I did fall asleep. I'll be completely honest. And around the 13th inning, were there still people there for the entire game? Like people stayed?
There was there were a few people. There was like a group of people, I guess, behind home plate from the camera angle to the left.
Because let me throw this out there. Feasibly, there was somebody who works like a shift that begins in the middle of the night who was like, oh yeah, I'll be able to go to this game. No problem. And then realized I'm going to be late to work.
Well, I think if you're like this,
it started at 5. Baseball games have been going like 2.5 to 3 hours this year.
If you had stayed till the 13th inning, were you really going to leave knowing, hey, we could have stayed the whole game. This thing ends in the 14th. And you're like, are you kidding me?
So can I be very honest with you about something, Sammy?
Let's do it.
And I don't feel bad about this.
Honesty is always the best policy.
This is 100% honesty. So last night I watched the entirety of the Chiefs Commanders game and it was a little bit of a letdown. I'll be honest. The second half, I was literally just watching to see if the over and the game could hit, which it did not. Then I switched over to Fox to watch the rest of the baseball game, which I was surprised was still going on. And as I'm watching, I get about 2 innings through and I'm like, I cannot listen to this broadcast anymore.
Oh, really? I like the broadcast a lot.
Look, Joe Kelly is Joe Kelly. What's his name? Joe Davis is very, very talented and he has the perfect voice for it. But it does kind of feel like you're watching a Dodgers home game.
That's so funny. I know people think that way. I was watching that last night. I don't feel that. Like
I feel it 100%.
I feel like Joe Davis goes out of his way, actually, knowing that he is the Dodger announcer for a lot, to talk about the other team. Maybe that's just me.
Maybe. It felt the way to me. And I've been watching this you get it, whatever. It felt like a Dodgers home game. So I went to alternative broadcast within the Fox app and the Fox Deportes one was right there. And I looked on the little thing. And it was like Adrian Garcia Marquez.
Hey,
I watched 5 innings of that game last night in Spanish and it was fantastic.
I gotta check that out.
Dude, Adrian Garcia Marquez doing baseball, his pacing, his tone, everything. It feels like you're watching an STFC game kind of, but it's baseball. He does such a good job with it.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Obviously love him on the call at STFC.
It's funny. He'll go through and they like one of the innings they did a look around all the celebrities who were there, which there were a million of them there. And so Adrian Garcia Marquez, he's talking super quick. He's and then all of a sudden you just hear Justin Bieber. In like his normal voice that he talks with us. It was so funny.
What was your biggest storyline from that game? Because there's like so many moments within that game between Ohtani getting on base 9 times, Kershaw coming in, the guy who has faltered.
That's the storyline. Because didn't he come in with the bases loaded?
Bases loaded, 2 outs.
Like everyone was expecting us to get another Kershaw meme. Everyone thought that's how that was going to go. And then he shoves. He did great.
That one probably didn't even get talked about enough. Like that was insane because if you follow this team at all this year, Kershaw has been rough. I mean, he was good earlier in the year.
He had another moment this postseason where he gave it up.
Yeah, I mean, this was a crazy performance from him. But I gotta go. Like the bullpen is crazy on both sides. You have Eric Lauer for the Blue Jays, who's mowing down the Dodger lineup, and then you go for the Dodgers, and you go Will Klein, Edgardo Enriquez. I mean, Edgardo Enriquez is a former catcher that the Dodgers turned into a pitcher. Will Klein was a guy who threw 66 pitches in the entire month of September, throws 71, 72 last night, and is throwing like on pure adrenaline, 98-mile-per-hour gas at the end. I mean, it's just that was a super fun baseball game to watch because you had everything. You had bad defense, great defense, excellent hitting on both sides. But that was just it was an electric game. It was a fantastic game to watch.
Our buddy Rich jumping in on YouTube saying Fletch is right. When Will Smith hit the ball to the warning track, Joe Davis was calling it like it's a walk-off.
But it did look like it. Like he pimped it.
It's the vibe I got watching the broadcast.
But that one, I mean, everyone in that stadium thought he hit that thing.
Sure.
I mean, he was walking. First off, they did a stat that like 90% of balls hit that hard go out. It was just because of the marine layer at night.
858 texting into the show says, reacting to our football conversation in the last segment, says, I even love the Saints so much I named all my fantasy teams after Tyler. My team shucks. Rattler doesn't. Shucks, 27-year-old rookie. Who dat shucks? And last but not least, shucks 9.
I like that.
Lots of team names. 858 resident Raider fan, Chiefs hater here. Kelsey won me my fantasy matchup last night by less than a point yesterday. So I'll tip my cap this time from
Shout
my
out
buddy
to
Tyson.
you, Tyson.
949 Broncos are going to destroy the Chiefs. Sorry, Sammy.
Yeah, well,
Do they play this week?
3 weeks. The Chiefs play the Bills, then they got a bye, and then they're in Denver taking on the Broncos.
Can I tell you, I got a little sad last night. Usually like Monday night after the football game, I'll look forward to the next week and start thinking about who our Circa Survivor pick is going to be.
Yeah.
And I look forward, I'm like, man, there's some easy matchups this week.
Who do the Niners have?
Niners this week? Good question.
We got to know our schedule like the back of the hand, Fletch.
I know. I usually just it's the Giants without Cam Scattaboo. That would have been a good pick for us this week.
I hope your boys can win that one without Scattaboo and Neighbors.
I think Brock is coming back this week. At least that's the hope. All right, quick break here on the other side. Let's talk about the Chiefs win on Monday Night Football. JR Tolver's coming up at 1:30. We got a pair of Aztec tickets to give away on the show today. We also have a pair of Brian Adams tickets to give away on the show today. Keep it locked here. What do you got, Sammy?
Top 5 NFL teams coming up next from Fletch and I.
Ooh, San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. Hey, it's Fletch for Gary Cooper at Mountain Trust Mortgage and Realty. You can visit them online at mountaintrustmortgage.com or give them a call today at 858-376-1299. Gary Cooper, the feds are meeting. What does that mean for us?
Hey, good question. They're meeting this week, and it is anticipated that the Federal Reserve will lower the interest rates by another 0.25%. However, I always tell all of my clients, keep an eye on the 10-year bond. That's the benchmark for long-term interest rates. And it appears that, everything's pretty well priced in. The current 10-year bond is at 3.98. So what that means to you in the Fed meeting is that, as I spoke about last week, interest rates are down. You could be in the high 5% range, depending on your loan to value, your credit scores, type of property, all of those things. And what's going to be really interesting is that there's even talk about another possible Fed rate cut in the following meeting, but we'll have to wait and see. So if you've refinanced or purchased your home in the last probably 2 to 3 years, it might be worth looking. And if it's not now, I can hold your application and we can see where rates go further down the road and lock in at the right time.
Call Gary Cooper today, 858-376-1299. See what he can do for you.
The sport is sponsored by Robert Half. Dodgers won Game 3 of the World Series last night on a Freddie Freeman walk-off home run. Tonight they'll be back from LA for Game 4. Game gets going at 5 o'clock. Blue Jays will be throwing out Shane Bieber, one of their aces, against Shohei Ohtani, who got on base 9 different times last night. Dodgers are currently a -195 favorite to take a 3-1 series lead. At Robert Half, they found that 67% of companies want to increase contract talent. That's why the recruiters' expertise in award-winning AI work quickly to find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
We got a pair of tickets for you to go see Bryan Adams along with Pat Benatar and Neil Girardo at Viejas Arena on November 16th. It's the Roll with the Punches tour. You can buy tickets at Ticketmaster.com or just keep listening for the next, 7 or 8 minutes for your chance to win. San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock today. John and Jim will take over then. We had a little Travis Dale stop in earlier in the show today. Always fun to chat with TD.
Big TD.
Of Big Rich TD and Fletch. Follow him on Twitter at Real Travis Dale. He's really trying to get that going. Go give the man some love. He needs it. We are going to do our top 5 teams in the NFL, but quick reaction to last night's game on Monday Night Football. Chiefs get the win. Kareem Hunt was fantastic. So one of Sammy's picks was a little bit off in long shots. Was it Braylon Smith? What's that guy's name? Brashard Smith, who is one of the backup running backs for the Chiefs. Kareem Hunt was in and out of the injury report, and he ends up being fantastic last night. Kelsey was trying to give the game away early, came back big and later in the game. Chiefs get a win. It feels like they're all the way back. Chiefs fan, Sammy, you feeling pretty good about the team?
Yeah, it was a workman-like win. It was against a team that they were supposed to beat, 11.5 point favorites. Jaden Daniels not playing, but the offense we know is lethal. The offense is fantastic. Rashee Rice is a bona fide number 1 superstar receiver.
Back-to-back games with touchdowns.
Worthy at the 2 spot. I mean, you got Thornton not even really getting targets. This is a guy who caught 3 straight games of touchdowns early in the year. Hollywood Brown. The offense is lethal. I do think they need some running back help in the sense of you can't wear Kareem Hunt out all year.
And is Pacheco dead? That knee bent in a weird way.
Strained his knee week to week with an MRI. The Chiefs do have a bye after the Bills game. I think they could upgrade at the running back spot, but I'm really just impressed with the defense. Like what the defense is able to do, because the offense was two quick turnovers, bad pass by Mahomes gets picked off by Lattimore. Kelsey pops the one straight in the air. The defense has allowed 7 points over the last 2 weeks, the Raiders and the Commanders. I know not great offenses, but still that's impressive to be able to do. The defense after the first week against the Chargers, where you looked at and was going, wow, there's some massive concerns here because the defense was simply not prepared to play that night. If the defense plays like this, I think they could use a little bit more pass rush, but I thought it was a very good performance from the boys.
All right, on Tuesdays, everybody likes to do their power rankings. Sammy and I are no different. Mine disagree with the national power rankings that you see on ESPN and everything. But Sammy, we got some NFL horns for this.
I do not right now. If you give me 30 seconds, we can have it.
Well, you figure out some NFL horns, and I'll read this liner here because spooky season is back on the free iHeartRadio app. Get into the Halloween spirit and stream all of your favorite eerie hits, haunted classics, and chilling playlists totally commercial free. Whether you're throwing a monster mash or just love a good scare, iHeartRadio has the perfect soundtrack for your spooky season. Listen now if you dare. Open the free iHeartRadio app and just search Halloween. Bryan Adams tickets coming up in a little bit. J.R. Tolver going to be joining the show in about an hour. NFL horns right now. Love them. Those royalty-free horns, baby. They hit you in a different way.
Horns.
All right, I'm going to start by giving out some honorable mention. These are our official power rankings into Week 9.
And I think we preface it with these are the top 5 teams in the NFL up to this point.
Here are my teams that were receiving votes in my own head. Packers, Bucks, Broncos. All of them receiving votes, did not crack my top 5.
Really? None of them made that?
None of them did. They were all right there in that order too, by the way. Packers, Bucks, Broncos. Sammy, why don't you get us started with your number 5?
I'm going to go number 5. I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Rams. I think the Rams are really rounding into form. I think it took them a minute there with Devontae Adams to kind of get it together, kind of working in that offense. You have the Puka Nacua injury. That was very impressive what they did 2 weeks ago against the Jacksonville Jaguars, absolutely decimating them. And they had a lot of momentum going into that game. I know they had lost to Seattle the week before, but get a big win against the Chiefs on the Monday night before that. I thought they would bounce back against the Rams. They did not. I think the Rams are kind of that team that is not getting enough love right now in the NFC that I think could be there at the end of the day.
All right, my number 5 team is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they've shown a lot over the last couple of weeks. Their season was ready to completely fall apart. They stacked 2 big wins on top of each other, and I think the Eagles have the roster to be good enough where they need to be in this list. So give me the Eagles, who I think have actually overcome quite a bit over the last couple of weeks. Sammy, number 4?
Okay, my number 4 is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles. I think the Eagles, in this sense, that was a get-right game. It seems like they've wrote the ship a little bit after that 2-game skid. The Giants completely shocked them there. It felt like just a really bad week for the Eagles in terms of you let the Broncos come back on you. Then you have the Giants who decimate you in that game. I feel like the Giants were really waiting for that one. I do think Philly has gotten it together in terms of talent. If Saquon's running the ball, they're going to be a big threat. The A.J. Brown situation is interesting. They seem to play a little bit better when he's off the field. What's going to happen with there? But I do think the Eagles, with the respect, has earned the number 4 spot in the NFL.
Yeah, I just think that their season could have gone south so easily, and they righted the ship, like you said. It's impressive. My number 4 team is going to be the Buffalo Bills. Look, roster counts for something, and the Buffalo Bills, while it hasn't looked all that pretty, they're still winning games. They're still near the top, and the Buffalo Bills with Josh Allen have as good a shot to win the Super Bowl as anybody in football. So Bills at number 4, but it's important on who I have above the Bills. But Sammy, your number 3 team?
My number 3, I'm going to go. I have reservations on this team. I am going to go with the Denver Broncos, and maybe a little high at 3. I think Bo Nix is going to limit them at the end of the day. But I got to give him credit. That defense is legit. Nick Bonito, I do not think gets enough respect in terms of a pass rusher in the NFL. Bo Nix, again, I don't know if I believe in him in terms of we're going down the stretch, going to win the whole thing. But the offense has gotten it together. Cortland Sutton finding a role in the offense. Marvin Mims, they're kind of getting it from a collection of places. I think the biggest development for the Broncos is the fact that R.J. Harvey is turning into a legit threat at running back.
Good.
As along with J.K. Dobbins. That in Denver, tough place to play. I put them at 3 right now after decimating the Cowboys.
That was a very PR-friendly answer for you. Look at you.
You like that?
Growing up, I mean, they just beat the crap out of the Cowboys. They scored a bunch of points on them. Until they score points against a defense, I'm going to need to see it.
Very fair. I got to give them credit for the Cowboys win because of how the defense played. You have Pat Surtain going out in that game with a pec injury. That offense had an argument to be the best in the league coming into that game. They made them look bad.
Sure. My number 3 team is the stupid-ass Chiefs, who I think have it turned all the way around. It was a rough start for the Chiefs. The offense, the way it is right now, can compete with anybody. They really can. Rashee Rice is a bona fide superstar, and him coming back and not missing a beat. Look, he wasn't out because of injury. He was out because of suspension. But the way he's come back and immediately just gotten into the offense, and it looks normal. It looks like Mahomes, the thing he's been missing. The Chiefs are my number 3 team. Sammy, we're getting down to it. Number 2?
Number 2, I'm going to go with the Chiefs. We'll get to my number 1 team after.
Jeez, who is? I don't know who your number 1's going to be.
I'm going to go number 2 with the Chiefs. I think they are the best team in the NFL. I'm going to give you my number 1 in a minute. Why I'm going to give them the props above the Chiefs so far. The way the Chiefs have rounded into form, I think this is the most complete team in the NFL. The offense is fantastic. They have weapons galore. This is the most loaded offense the Chiefs have had since the prime Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Kareem Hunt days in 2018, in my opinion. The defense, I do think, could use a few tweaks. I think you need another defensive tackle alongside Chris Jones. Pass rush, Kayvon Thibodeau apparently out there for the Giants looking on the trade block. I think that would be a massive add for the Chiefs. But I think the Chiefs right now are on the come, and we're going to see. They play the Bills, Broncos, and Colts for the next month. So
who's your number 5?
Rams.
Okay, you're leaving off my number 2 then. You have a very big gap in your top 5, in my opinion.
Okay.
The Detroit Lions. When you look at a roster, they have the most complete one in the NFL potentially. With all their defense healthy, with Alex Anzalone back, with Aiden Hutchinson causing problems all over the field. The Lions were on bye last week, so I think some people are forgetting about them. But the Detroit Lions with Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Jared Goff throwing the ball pretty well. They got one of the most complete offenses and complete defenses. The Detroit Lions are my number 2 team, and the only reason they're not number 1 is because there's a hotter team in football right now.
We're going to get to the Lions being there, which is crazy to me.
Seriously.
The Colts are number 1 right now.
Yes, for both of us, obviously.
They have earned the respect through the season. They have the best record in the NFL. They should have beat the Rams. Now, there's some hesitation, as we kind of got into earlier. I would not pick the Colts against the Chiefs, the Bills, I think there's a lot, maybe Denver, depending on where the game is played in the AFC. The Patriots, I just left out of my top 5. I don't know that I'm certainly not picking the Colts to go to the Super Bowl. I think they could have an early playoff exit. But up until this point, I have to give them credit. The way they're bludgeoning teams, they've beaten the Titans twice, Miami once, the Raiders once, but they did beat the Chargers. They probably should have beat the Rams, woulda, coulda, shoulda, but they dropped the ball at the goal line. Now, the flip side of that is they probably should have lost to Denver, had the holding penalty or they jumping the center. But the Colts at this point has earned the respect. Shout out to Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor.
All right, so with this thought process, you have all 5 of your top 5 teams beating the Lions in one-off games?
Yes.
You have the Broncos beating the Lions in a one-off game?
Yeah.
For sure.
So say that one more time. I was reading the text.
You have the Broncos beating the Lions for sure in a one-off game.
No. This is not about the Lions. I think the Lions at the end of this is up to this point. This is an up to this point thing.
5-2.
Yes, and they got bludgeoned by Kansas City 2 weeks ago. They beat a Bucks team coming off a week where the entire team is injured. Mike Evans goes out in the second quarter. They managed 24 points against them. I think the Lions are a very good team. To this point, their best win is Baltimore. That was the win that got everyone on the hype train. They lost to Buffalo. Their best win has been Baltimore so far this season, and everyone's beating Baltimore.
Well, I don't think they've lost to Buffalo. They have 2 losses on the year. One was Packers, one was Chiefs.
Oh, I was thinking about that. Yeah, never mind. We'll scratch that.
The Lions are damn good, man. I'm curious to see how they end up this year. Sure, the Packers loss at the very beginning of the season was a little head scratching, but
858 is frustrating me for leaving the Bills out of the top 5.
That is crazy.
So you beat the Panthers without a quarterback after having lost to the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, you did not do this text from the 858 enough service, man. That's a well-crafted text from the 858. Chiefs fan and UTEP denier leaves the Bills out of their top 5 after a 40-9 victory. Shocker.
Well, 858, I'll tell you this. If the Bills, by the way, with no Ed Oliver, the best player on their defense for the foreseeable future, if the Bills beat the Chiefs this Sunday, they will certainly be in the top 5.
Oh, that's going to be a fun game.
But up until this point, why would the Bills be in the top 5 so far? Not saying that they couldn't be down the road. They're certainly going to be a threat in the AFC. And as I just said, I would pick the Bills over the Colts in the AFC if they match up in the playoffs today. But having lost 2 straight games, getting destroyed by the Atlanta Falcons, whose offense has been horrendous the following 2 weeks after that, and you beat a team without a quarterback in Bryce Young and the Panthers 40-9. Yeah, I would hope so coming off a bye.
All right, let's see. Just for comparison's sake, I just pulled up ESPN's power rankings. Their top 5 go number 5, the Bucks at 6-2, 4 Bills at 5-2, Eagles 3, 6-2, Lions at number 2 at 5-2, and Colts at number 1, 7-1. Chiefs at 6. Wow. Packers at 7.
ESPN, on First Take, they had a totally different list this morning.
Rams at 8. Broncos at 9, Patriots at 10. Patriots deserve a little more love, I would say.
First take. Stephen A. this morning had the Colts 1, Chiefs 2, Patriots 3, Eagles 4, I believe, and the Packers 5. The Packers had a thought to coming in after that performance against the Steelers.
I think so too.
They were just
got my
left
honorable
outside.
mentions. Broncos, Packers, and Bucks all got honorable mentions for me.
I would have the Packers, Patriots, Lions, and Bills right after in no
it's a fun
particular order.
NFL season. There's a lot of parity this year, man.
Yeah, there's not a team that you could make an argument for about
what's going on with the music.
8 different teams.
Is that scratching on your end too, or is that just me?
No, that's just your old headset.
Sure.
You can make an argument for about 8 to 10 different teams to win a Super Bowl, and I don't think you could be called crazy.
All right, well, let's call this crazy. We're going to trust Sammy to build us out a daily fantasy sports
Oh, you mean
lineup.
like how I won everyone money over the weekend, but PrizePicks screwed us with our payout?
Hey, I mean, that's the way you think about it, sure. It is San Diego Sports 760. We do have long shots coming up next. Sammy, make us all some money. That's next. Oh, wait. Don't hit that button. Brian Adams tickets right now on the line. Playing at Viejas Arena coming up on November 1st. No, that's not right. November 16th. At Viejas Arena, the Roll with the Punches tour. You can buy tickets at Ticketmaster.com. You can call right now. Sammy, what caller number you want to give these to?
Let's do number 6.
Caller number 6. You're going to the show, 877-767-4760. San Diego Sports 760, we congratulate all of our $5,000 winners in iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher powered by Donors Choose. There's still time for you to nominate a public school teacher to make a difference and thank the leaders of our future generations. Maybe they'll be one of our next $5,000 winners to make over their classroom. Help us say thank you to the educators who are shaping our future. Nominate your favorite teacher now at iHeartRadio.com/teachers. Lots of interesting choices for long shots here. We got a bunch of basketball games going on tonight. We have a World Series game going on tonight. And when you think about the pitching matchup, you're going to have to think that both these guys are going to need to go a little bit in today's game, considering there was an 18-inning game one night ago. Sammy, are you feeling confident about what you're putting together over there?
I am feeling confident about this one. Yeah, we got a lot of NBA to put together. We've got a little World Series. It's tough deciding on like how long the pitchers are going to go, because the thinking is that they're going to go over because both teams burned every.
But it's also a World Series game where you're going to ask guys to do a little bit more. And if you get into trouble early, it's not like there's going back, especially if you're the Blue Jays. Like, you lose tonight, series is over essentially. So if you're the Blue Jays, you might be dipping back in that well pretty quickly if Bieber has any sort of struggles early in this one. I don't envy being Sammy Long today, I'll be honest.
I get to enjoy being Sammy Long every day.
Well, if you're ready to go, let's go ahead and smash it.
You looking for some luck? Want to win big? Gotta play big.
You are so money and you don't even know it.
Time to take a chance
Pay that man his money.
with long shots.
Buddy Tyler weighed in on YouTube saying Bieber over 4.5 strikeouts. Do we like that one, Sammy?
I got a Bieber pick, but it's a little bit different. And it's not even, I don't even hate the Tyler pick because I could see it happening. And this is not really an indictment on Shane Bieber. It's just more about the fact that he's going to stay in the game.
More than 4.5 hits allowed?
Yes. And again, this is not an indictment on Shane Bieber. I think Shane Bieber could be putting up a big time performance, but both bullpens completely went. And let's keep in mind, they got a game tomorrow. Now, if you're the Blue Jays, you're going to have to sell out and try to win this game. Bieber's a great pitcher. I think he's going to go ways, but 4.5 hits, we're going to go more than. I do think the Dodger offense found a little something, and I think I both these pitchers got to go 7 innings. Like, who are you giving it to? Like, if you're the Dodgers, who are you throwing out? Like, you're not throwing Kershaw out there, despite him throwing only a few pitches. I guess Jack Dreyer can go. Sasaki had a high pitch count yesterday, and on the Blue Jays side, I mean, they burned everyone. And so I'm going to go more than 4.5 hits for Shane Bieber, because even if he gives up a few hits, they're going to have to leave him in to give him a little length there. So more than 4.5 hits for Shane Bieber. Then we got 2 NBA picks going on here. We got Washington and Philly. VJ Edgecombe. Now, I don't know if people are familiar of seeing what's been going on the first week of the season. This is a young guy out of Baylor, 3rd overall pick. Didn't get the kind of hype that Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper has gotten. He's been unbelievable. Like, the Sixers, who we thought were going to be last year when they had Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and Paul George, that we kind of thought was a sleeper team in the Eastern Conference and turned out to be terrible. VJ Edgecombe is his number 2. I mean, and Joel Embiid's going to get it together. Tyrese Maxey and him have been fantastic. Now, despite everything I just said, 19.5 points, less than. And this is simply because they're playing the Washington Wizards. They're playing the Washington Wizards, and I believe that sometimes in the NBA, you're going to see guys get a little rest. The Wizards are not a very good basketball team. I think this is a blowout tonight. Philly feels like they're on a little bit of a mission to prove, because last year they started the season so poorly. VJ Edgecombe, I think, has a good night, but less than 19.5 points, because I think he's sitting the entire fourth quarter. On the other side, Milwaukee.
Man, he was good. He was at Baylor, right?
Really good.
He was good in college.
He was fantastic at Baylor. Again, he just didn't get the love of Flagg and Dylan Harper.
It was kind of like that year that Zion came out, and all of a sudden there was this guy, John Morant, who also came out the same year.
Right.
And one of them is amazing right away in the pros, and one of them was Zion.
Well, Zion plays at Duke. I believe Murray State, right, for John Morant?
No.
What was that? Was that 12? Or not Morehead State, but it was Murray State. One of those. It was a small school anyway. So you don't get the kind of recognition and love. Baylor, big-time school. It's not Duke. So, Jalen Brunson against Milwaukee, more than 27.5 points. Milwaukee doesn't have anyone to guard Jalen Brunson. This team is completely front court heavy. It is built on Giannis. It is built on Miles Turner. It is built on Bobby Portis coming them and trying to outsize the Knicks and everyone. Jalen Brunson is going to go ham in this game. The Knicks have been off to a pretty good start. more than 27.5 points for Jalen Brunson. Them obviously not having game after him getting injured last year and then leaving the team. So I don't think there's anyone to guard him. My 3-pick parlay, to recap, Shane Bieber, more than 4.5 hits allowed simply because he's going to stay in the game a long time. VJ Edgecombe, less than 19.5 points for the Philadelphia 76ers because I think he's going to be sitting the entire fourth quarter. And Jalen Brunson, more than 27.5 points. Milwaukee does not have perimeter defense.
Light it up. You didn't like my pick I gave you?
Oh, I forgot to add that. I like that pick. Do you want to add it?
It actually went up. It was Steph Curry at 24.5. Now it's Steph Curry at 25.5. I included it in mine.
Do you want to add it?
I included it in mine.
You know why I like that pick? Because Clippers got embarrassed at home against the Jazz. This is a pretty fun little rivalry between the Clippers and Warriors. I do think Curry shows out tonight. And again, James Harden guarding Steph Curry.
Game is on way too late at night. I think it's like an 8 o'clock tip off. Crazy. What are we doing, NBA? Figure it out. Trying to avoid the World Series, maybe? I don't know. Last night, the World Series ended up going to like midnight.
What's wrong? What's wrong? Hold on. What's wrong with the 8 o'clock tip off?
That is too late, Sammy Long.
Not everyone has your 90-year-old schedule.
Yeah, but not everyone also doesn't have to wake up until what time do you wake up?
I wake up at like 7:30.
That's earlier than I thought. I really thought I was about to hear like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, but I forgot you go to the gym and like do healthy stuff like a weirdo.
Try to keep the body running. Try to keep the engines alive.
Body's a temple. If you feed it Taco Bell, good things happen. All right, it's San Diego Sports 760. Hour number 2 is coming up next. JR Tolver is going to be stopping by. We'll give away some Aztecs tickets on the other side. Keep on listening. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
Sponsored by ChooseChangeCA.org. The MLB World Series be back. Game 4 tonight. Dodgers hosting the Blue Jays. Dodgers currently minus 195 on the money line, with Toronto checking in at plus 165. The run total is set at 8.5. Ace Shane Bieber will get the ball for the Blue Jays, and Shohei Ohtani, for getting on base 9 times last night, will do the quick turnaround and be pitching for Los Angeles. This holiday season, choose treatment and recovery for opioid or stimulant addiction and embrace new beginnings. The company of family and friends, and create special moments. Find a proven treatment provider near you at ChooseChangeCA.org.
I'm Ben Fletcher. That's Sammy Long.
No fluff, just facts.
Looks like reports of the demise were greatly exaggerated.
Mahomes takes the snap at his left knee, keeping the feet alive. Sings it late for the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown, Kansas City.
The Chiefs roll on Monday night, and that guy did it again.
Full count on Freeman. Little delivers. Freeman. It's one high in the air. Straight away center field. Marshall at the wall. Go!
Freddie ends an 18-inning classic in Game 3. Looks like Shohei will have a new walk-up song.
I'm walking. Yes, indeed. I'm talking.
Plus the latest on the Padres' search for a manager. Yeah, Sammy's going to be a little obnoxious today.
Would you please shut the hell up?
Now, live from the studios of San Diego Sports 760, we enter the Fletch Zone.
There we go. It's hour number 2 here on San Diego Sports 760. Got a pair of tickets for San Diego State, Wyoming coming up this weekend. It's homecoming at Snapdragon Stadium, 4 o'clock kickoff. JR and I will get going at 2 o'clock on Saturday from just outside the Riverwalk Block Party. We'd love for you to come by and say hi. In fact, JR Tolver is going to come by the show today and say hi. Coming up at 1:30, we'll talk some Aztecs football. The text line spurred quite the debate during this last commercial break between myself and Sammy Long, the glorious Sammy Long, who's here today. The first one said 858, same number for both these texts, by the way. VJ on the road going under is a good call. Sammy to the bank.
Thank you, 858.
Congratulations, Sammy. Similar 858 number texts in, actually the exact same one, and says, does Fletch even know what going ham means? Ham in all caps.
You're throwing around a lot of young people words.
I think you're the one who said it. You said Jalen Brunson's going to be going ham.
Oh, did
tonight.
I say that?
You did.
Oh.
Now, going ham, as we all know, fellow young people, is when you see the Thanksgiving table and you see the ham come out. You know, I'm going ham tonight, baby. Right?
Wow.
Hard as a mother. Yes, I know what ham means. You're going hard as a mother. But the debate that this caused was that I think ham is way better than turkey on Thanksgiving.
Well, see, I started with, you know, I enjoy ham. I enjoy ham on Thanksgiving. And then he goes, essentially insinuates that turkey is bad.
No, I could just do without it. It's like
but that's
ham
like,
is the star of the show. It should be elevated.
No,
I don't know why turkey is taking over Thanksgiving.
You think those dudes back in the day having their first Thanksgiving,
those dudes
were going back to the Pilgrims? You think they're going out getting ham? No, they were going and they were killing a bird.
Those dudes.
They were killing a bird. You think they came all the way over from across the sea, across the Atlantic Ocean?
Do you realize American pigs are better than stupid British pigs? Probably. Yeah. They're like, oh, these pigs are fat. Let's go, baby.
Dude, they got here and they're like, you know what? I'm kind of hungry.
Yeah.
I would enjoy having a turkey. It's just
seriously. Do you look at a stupid bird that has a weird neck and you look at a big fat pig and you're like, I want to eat the bird? No, that's crazy.
I just don't know why you're being disrespectful to turkeys. Like,
turkey's fine. They
gobble and like this is a bad time of year for them.
Dude, turkeys are mean mother effers. I tell you what, I've told this before, but like my first job ever was butchering chickens out of my grandfather's farm. That's not even a joke. One year we decided we were going to raise and then eat our very own family Thanksgiving turkey. When I tell you that is the meanest animal I've ever had an encounter with, turkeys are a-holes, dude. They are the worst.
Everyone's chiming in on this. John saying going ham isn't a term used only by young people. E40 said it. That's very true. Very good point.
E40, Bay Area.
A58 said honey glazed ham is the best. Honey glazed ham, very good. Very solid choice, especially on Thanksgiving Day.
How about rum ham, as in Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Danny DeVito with the rum ham.
What's the one dish on Thanksgiving? I don't know why we're talking about Thanksgiving, but
Because it's coming up. We're like less than a month out, dude.
By the
We're
way,
almost there.
really quick, I meant to mention this. I'm sitting there watching the World Series last night, as well as Monday Night Football. What is with the 1,000 Christmas commercials that it's not even Halloween yet? Did you see that?
Yeah, it's already started, man. I went to Home Depot the other day and there was Christmas stuff everywhere. Like the Halloween stuff is already gone.
Like listen, I'm not like some big Halloween guy, but like it does respect the holiday a little bit. Like you have to wait until after Halloween.
I mean, is Halloween even really a holiday? It's just a day to go eat candy and run around to people's houses and go crazy and dress up.
Run around in people's houses?
It's really, when you think about Halloween, what it really is a day for ladies to dress up and show a little skin. That's what Halloween is for, and not feel bad about it. Sammy, too, he's going to be showing a little skin.
God bless him.
God bless him indeed. All right, let's get to the big three of hour number 2. We'll talk some actual sports here. Turkey does kind of suck. Ham should be the star of the show.
That's a crazy take. Like we're going to get to sports, but that is just, I can't believe that you're saying that.
Ham is perfect. Sammy, go ahead and smash it, much like the mashed potatoes that'll be on Thanksgiving dinner. Boom.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? I mean, coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big Three.
Dude, mac and cheese. Damn, dude, I'm a little mashed potato. How about some homemade rolls? Oh, girl.
All right, let's go to San Diego State basketball. Right around the corner, Miles Byrd named to the Julius Erving Awards preseason watch list. He's the only player not from a power conference to be included on the preseason watch list. Reaction, do you think he will be the go-to guy on this team, taking the shot at the end of the game this season?
So last week, I was out in Vegas for the Mountain West Media Days for the basketball program. I got to talk to Miles. I got to talk to Reese. I got to talk to Coach Dutcher. And I asked all three of them that question. Who's the guy taking the shot in the last minute? Reese was the one who said, I want the ball. Miles said, I'm going to defer to Reese in that situation. Like, Reese is going to be the captain of this team. He's going to make the decision. Reese did say, but if Miles is open, we're giving it to Miles. So you look at it, and they got options this year, which is the best thing you could say about this Aztecs team. Now, in years past, what we have to go off of is Malachi Flynn's year. We didn't know it was going to be Malachi Flynn's year until 3 or 4 games into the season. And then it was very clear he's the one who's going to get the shot. I think it was against San Jose State at Viejas Arena, where Malachi Flynn just kind of took over the game that San Diego State wasn't supposed to lose, but was about to lose. And then he became that dude. Jaden Ledee's year, it was very clear from the start that was Jaden Ledee's team. This year, I think we got a few games to figure it out. Because reintroducing Reese Waters into this lineup, people forget how talented he was when he was at USC. His first year with the Aztecs. It's like Reese can pour in some offensive numbers, but I think we've all forgotten about that. So I think a few games in, we'll find out how the new guys blend in. The Latrell Davises, the freshman LZ Harrington out of St. John Bosco. Like, they have so many options that it's going to take us a little bit to realize who's that dude on the team.
Right. That's the cool part, is that they do have options. Where last year it felt like it had to be Bird, and everyone knew it was going to be Bird down the stretch. And Magoon Guath, he had times last year where he would really pop off in games, but you go, he was young, he was a true freshman, and he was pretty skinny, so it was hard to count on him. Then he dealt with the injuries down the stretch. There's so many guys this year. You point out Latrell Davis. This is a guy who we don't know how much he's going to play.
When I asked Dutch about him, he said, if you can't beat him, get him to join you.
I mean, that guy, listen, there's some talk about him possibly redshirting. That seems crazy to me.
I don't think so anymore. I think he's on the team.
Okay, well, good, because this is a guy who the Brian Dutcher fantastic defense that we know in this country is widely respected as one of the best defensive systems in all of college basketball. Latrell Davis had a field day with that last year, so it's fantastic that he is now a San Diego State Aztec. There are so many weapons on this team. Taj DeGorville, year 2, I think is going to really take a big explosion. This Aztecs basketball season, I really do feel like sky's the limit, and it might be the best thing that happened to them that they kind of got disrespected, not in the top 25, the first poll of the season, but it's not where you start, it's where you finish.
Yeah, keep that disrespect coming. By the way, the Julius Erving Award, Miles was on it last year when it got whittled down to the top 10 about halfway through the season last year. And cool to see him on it at the start of this year. He absolutely deserves to be. It's for the best small forward in all of college basketball. Gets that every year. He's the only player who's not on a Power 4 team who's on that list to start the year. What's next, Sammy?
All right, we're heading to the Lakers. You heard that game the last 2 nights on this station. Austin Reeves, 2 nights ago, having 51 points, then having 41 last night in a Laker loss. the dilemma all season. There's been a lot of people that want Austin Reeves off the team. They think he's kind of a duplicate of Luka, and they need more defensive help. But he's kind of becoming
kind of racist, isn't it?
He's kind of becoming a superstar guard in that sense, one of the best third options in the league. Do you think his hot start, the fact that he's been one of the best players in the NBA through the first week, the Lakers should trade him for defensive help, or they should wait and try to build around him and Luka going forward after LeBron retires?
Like, seriously, it's just another Sammy-looking dude on the Lakers. You got Luka, you got Reeves, and you're just saying they're duplicates of each other? That doesn't feel fair.
It's their game.
Two very different people. No, they are kind of the same. Look, Austin Reeves needs to be stepping up in this moment. The entire Lakers team is hurt. And to see him doing that, even in a loss last night, I think that should give the warm and fuzzies to a lot of Lakers fans, because I'm looking at this Lakers season and I'm thinking LeBron's not going to be around for a whole lot of this. I don't know how long this injury, I think it was reported it was going to be a couple months to start the season.
Mid-November.
It might even be more than that. Like, I do think that this is going to be a lot of LeBron-less basketball until you get to the postseason. Then he's going to come back with about 10 games to go and play consistently through the rest of the way, which I actually think is a smart thing for the Lakers to do. In the meantime, you got to work your way up to 55, 60 wins on this regular season. You're going to need Austin Reeves to be that dude in a lot of these games, especially if Luka's already dealing with some nagging injuries. Austin Reeves has the ability to drop 40 points in a game. You're going to need him to do it consistently throughout the regular season.
I get people. It's tough watching at times when the teams that are kind of a sieve defensively. I get it. It can be tough, but look at when Luka had the most success. And no, I'm not saying Austin Reeves is Kyrie Irving or Jalen Brunson, but he had a number 2 running mate. Jalen Brunson, they go to the Western Conference Finals. Kyrie Irving, they go to the finals and lose to Boston. Austin Reeves, time and time again, has been a guy that is a go-to scorer. LeBron's out right now. Luka's out right now. Reeves was doing it with Luka still there through the first 2 games. He needs a running mate. I think the Laker defense is not quite as bad as people are making it out to be. Marcus Smart, even though he's not a stat sheet sufferer, I think he's going to be a big player this season for the Lakers. Jared Vanderbilt, we know he's one of the best defensive players in the NBA. I think the most encouraging thing for the Lakers that DeAndre Ayton has really, after a terrible night 1, really been good the last 3 nights and has stepped up in that role and been a lot more aggressive. I would not trade Austin Reeves. Obviously, everyone's got a price if there's some crazy ransom haul, but I think you don't want to leave Luka by himself next year if LeBron retires just to go get a wing defender and a couple draft picks. So Luka's sitting there going, well, where the hell is my help? Like, I think Austin Reeves could be a part of a championship winning team as the third option. All right, let's head to the NFL. Jerry Jones said on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas this morning, no trade close yet. Jones clarifies Cowboys business amid Crosby and Hendrickson rumors. Ed Werder also reported this morning that the Cowboys and George Pickens haven't engaged on a new deal ahead of the trade deadline. Should the Cowboys go after defensive help and try to go win this season?
I really don't think they should. That doesn't mean they're not going to go out and try to win this season. I think they have enough right now to be a team that can outscore people. Yeah, we saw them go up against one of the NFL's premier defenses in the Denver Broncos and really struggle. Well, that's not the case most weeks. Most weeks you're not playing against the Denver Broncos defense. I'm looking at the Cowboys to try to be that team this year. You just got to hope with the defense that you have and try to go out there and score 45 as many times as you possibly can the rest of the way. We saw the Bengals do that last year. It was almost successful for the Bengals. It wasn't quite. So can the Cowboys do that this year? Absolutely. Save those draft picks that you got for Micah. Go improve in the draft the right way next year and just hold off on the trade talks. I don't know if I would pay George Pickens, by the way. There was that rumor last week that they were getting close on some sort of an extension. I don't know that I'm really ready to do that right now. Like, of course, George Pickens is going to be great right now. He's auditioning for his next contract. It's not until after you pay him that you start to see the problems pop up that popped up in Pittsburgh. And I do think those problems are still there.
I think the issue is, I'm not against what you're saying. Like, I see there's problems paying George Pickens. There's a reason that the Pittsburgh Steelers organization, which is one of the best organizations in football, we're like, that's a headache.
What happened the last time the Steelers let go of a high-end wide receiver on his way to a next contract?
Well, hopefully he doesn't turn out like that.
Is that Antonio Brown?
But I think
Mike Tomlin got out on him at the right time.
If you're Dallas, you got George Pickens to help you win this year. Then you trade Micah Parsons, which is telling you you're not going to win this year. I mean, looking at their schedule, they have the Cardinals, a game they should win, the Raiders. Then it gets tough. Then it gets the Eagles, Chiefs, Lions, Vikings. Like, you got a tough kind of stretch there after the next few weeks. I think you could make some edge help, but again, like, if you're going big game hunting, like Trey Hendrickson, I think you could get while still maintaining some of the Micah Parsons draft capital because he's on an expiring contract and things like that. The Max Crosby thing, like they're literally going to ask for the 2 picks. The 2 picks you got for Micah Parsons, they are going to ask for. They have Overshown coming back. Trayvon Diggs did not play on Sunday, so we'll see what happens there. But the Cowboys are not out of this thing because I don't think there's a team in the NFC that is so much better than everyone else. But the defense, you can't go to a Super Bowl with that defense right now.
All right, we got J.R. Tolver coming up at 1:30 today. We'll give away some Aztec tickets with J.R. Tolver. Coming up next, though, let's get into this NFL a little bit more. There's a story about a quarterback that has left the door open for a potential return. And I think it's fascinating. Let's get into it next. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, right here on San Diego Sports 760. It is SDFC Midweek Live. Hear from the head coach, Mikey Varas, as well as interviews with players and coaches. Find out the latest club and MLS information. SDFC Midweek Live tomorrow at 6, right here on your home for SDFC, San Diego Sports 760. All right, a couple things here right off the bat. They've released player props for tonight's World Series game. Shohei Ohtani's odds of getting walked tonight. Any guesses?
What we got? What kind of money are we profiting on?
Well, if you bet $100, I think you profit like $1.30 because it's minus 13.40. So no, what is that? $13.40 if you bet $100.
Minus 13.40. I think that.
I think it's
$1,340.
Yeah, minus 1,000.
No, you would make like $1.30.
$1.30 if you bet $100.
It is crazy. I wonder if listen, I don't fault the Blue Jays for it makes sense. Why would you pitch to him? He was seeing the ball unbelievably, but it does feel like there should, just like we got into yesterday with the tush push. If you're going to keep the play, there has to be a limit on how many times you can run it. I do think there should be a rule where you can only intentionally walk a guy once.
That was what Travis Dale said earlier today. Are you giving TD credit on a sports topic?
I am giving TD credit on a sports. Wow. I thought that was a very well thought out take.
I think it would change a lot about baseball. Definitely, the stat nerds would have an absolute heart attack over it.
Yeah, but screw the stat nerds.
I agree with them for the most part. Screw the stat nerds. I'm okay with the golden.
These are the same people that didn't want to run her on second. They didn't want to pitch clock. They didn't want to get the pitchers. They wanted pitchers to hit.
I just realized the biggest flaw in the golden at bat rule.
What?
Intentional walks.
Exactly. Right, you couldn't have that because you could just intention. So if you put Ohtani
of the ninth and you need a guy to come in to have a pinch hit situation, and Bryce Harper just hit, you want to put Bryce Harper back in. Well, walk him. Who cares?
I do feel like it's like you shouldn't be. And again, I'm not faulting the Blue Jays. They did what they should do. If you pitch to Shohei Ohtani,
I'm walking him every single time. You just watch that dude hit 2 home runs in the same game.
But I just feel like in the World Series, you want to see Vladdy up. You want to see Shohei up. It does feel like you're taking something away. The Yankees last year, Aaron Judge. I don't want to see these guys just going to first every time.
There's some crazy stat about it, and I don't know it off the top of my head, but the year, I can't remember what year it was either, but the year where Barry Bonds got intentionally walked more times than he even had an at-bat.
Right, and he was the only player ever to bases loaded get walked.
Right. It's just, there is some of baseball where it feels like such a coward way out when you intentionally walk somebody, and that takes away a little bit, but I don't know. How can you implement that? Then they'll intentionally walk someone, by just pitching around a guy.
But I think that's fine though. It's like, hey, you're going to throw 4 pitches. We talk about pitch counts being a thing. It's like, you can intentionally walk someone all you want, but you're going to throw 4 pitches.
Right.
And if you miss, they're going to crush you. It's on you. So I think that should be a part of the game.
All right, well, maybe let's talk to Mr. Manfred and we'll see what can happen. All right,
I'll get Rob on the show.
Rob, what are you doing, bro? Okay, interesting storyline popping up in the NFL. The Vikings, who have been so reluctant to bring JJ McCarthy, their drafted quarterback, in to play quarterback this year. Remember, there's been all sorts of kind of confusing messaging out of the Vikings.
He's been practicing, but then he's inactive, and
he's healthy,
thought he would
but
come back to the Charger game.
Right,
very weird.
The messaging has been bizarre to say the very least. Well, Carson Wentz now is having season-ending shoulder surgery after his latest debacle. So Carson Wentz is no longer an option. They do have somebody else in the quarterback room. I've already forgotten his name. I read it earlier today. But JJ McCarthy supposedly is going to be coming back to play. Does that open up a door for a Justin Jefferson, Kirk Cousins reunion?
No, because if you do that, you're basically telling JJ McCarthy, we don't believe in you.
But aren't you kind of already telling JJ McCarthy that you don't believe in him?
But no, I think he's been hurt.
There?
There's no way for what you've seen from Carson Wentz that he would be starting over JJ McCarthy, even though JJ McCarthy through the first couple of games didn't look all that great outside of one quarter against the Chicago Bears in the fourth. The Carson Wentz was awful. I know he was hurt. That was one of the worst quarterback performances I've ever seen.
It was brutal. He was terrible.
But think of your McCarthy. You already were coming off. You missed the entire season because of a knee injury. Then you have Sam Darnold go out there. By the way, they had just let go of Kirk Cousins, who was a fan favorite in Minnesota.
Right. And what you're saying makes logically perfect sense. What does that do to your young quarterback? But what has it already done to your young quarterback?
But that's the point. So then Darnold goes on. He's having success in Seattle. I'm sure there's I'm not in tune on Minnesota radio, but I'm sure there's a large portion of Minnesota Vikings fans that are wanting Sam Darnold back. Then you go get the old guy who, even though he never won really playoff games, put up big numbers. And the thing that I think you'd have to look at, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, publicly haven't said anything
yet.
Privately, they're going, hey, you're messing with my numbers and my money because this kid in Carson Wentz can't get the ball to me.
But could JJ McCarthy get the ball to him? That's the problem you're looking at. And are they going to have the same complaints when JJ comes back? It's something to watch for sure. 619 texting in saying Barry Bonds would have another 100 home runs with only one intentional walk
and
per game.
that would be fun for the sport if that could have happened.
Yeah, probably. All right, quick break here. JR Tolver coming up next. Aztecs football tickets coming up next. Don't go anywhere. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
This report is sponsored by eBay. World Series Game 4 tonight. If the Dodgers took a 2-1 series lead last night, they'll have Shane Bieber going for Toronto, while Shohei Ohtani, after getting on base 9 times last night, will be back on the mound. The Dodgers are almost a 2-1 favorite to win the game. Game 5 will be tomorrow. Cooper Flagg, number 1 overall pick out of Duke, hurt his shoulder in last night's game for the Dallas Mavericks. He was also benched in crunch time after having a rough outing. It has not been said how long he will be out. Swapping out your tires, there's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay, things people love.
Coming up this Saturday, 2:00 is when you're going to hear myself and JR Tolver take over the pregame show as the Aztecs get ready to take on Wyoming for homecoming. We got a pair of tickets to give away coming up in about 9 minutes. But first, you're going to have to sit through some stuff. And that stuff joins the show right now. His name is JR Tolver. You can find him azteclink.com, helping pay for some of these Aztecs players. JR, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, Fletch. How are you?
We're good, man. So 8 years on the pregame show for the San Diego State Aztecs. Here's something I'm positive about. Never in your time as the pregame show host for San Diego State football have you seen a season where there were 3 shutouts in that year. Pretty impressive what this Aztecs defense has been able to do.
Yeah, man, it's been amazing. And we saw a lot of success from the San Diego State football program under Rocky Long. You know, they played killer defense, did a great job of running the football, you know, over that 10-year period. But yeah, we have not seen anything as good as those football teams were. We haven't seen anything to the effect of what we've seen here in 2025.
JR, can you just speak to how the Sean Lewis offense has really developed from year 1 to year 2 in the progression of Denegal?
Yeah, when I look at the offense, you know, they always say like your Jimmys and Joes are always going to be better than your X's and O's. It comes back down to your players, right? And Danny last year was a freshman quarterback. I think Coach Lewis was a little bit limited in what he could do offensively with a freshman quarterback. Also, Danny didn't really have the physical stature, I think. So the ability to integrate him into not only the pass game, but to know that you can use his legs to make plays proactively instead of reactively as well. I think what Coach Lewis has been able to do with Denegal is take an older player, a guy who's had some experience, seeing the game at the highest level, and use his desire to be on the field coupled with his physical gifts, his height, his speed, his strength, his arm capacity to really mold into what Coach Lewis wants. And I think ultimately we all realize that Aztec Fast is what we were expecting. But the reality is Coach Lewis wants to control the game. He wants to control the clock, and he wants to control the football. And I think behind a huge offensive line, 3 phenomenal running backs, and a quarterback that can help you win through the air or on the ground, I think Coach Lewis's offense has evolved into exactly what he wants it to be at this point of the season.
Mass that kicks ass. That's what he says about the offensive line, and that's certainly the case, man. At JR Tolver 16 on X is where you can find him. He tweets about the Aztecs games quite a bit. JR, someone I know you and I are both big fans of, and you mentioned the backfield that has 3 stars in it, really. But if we can focus on Lucky Sutton for a second, because you've been watching Lucky play football since he was in high school, and he's the guy who's kind of been in this program for 3 years, just waiting for his time. Well, it's his time, and he's taking advantage. Had a career high in yards against Fresno State. Seemingly scores a touchdown in every single game the Aztecs play. Watching what you've seen from Lucky since the time he was 14 years old. What can you say about him as a person, him as a player, and what you've seen unfold this year?
Yeah, he's always been a physical specimen. Lucky has always been one of the bigger athletes on the field. He's always been one of the stronger and faster athletes on the field. So he's always been a physical specimen. I think when Lucky got to San Diego State, there was some mental maturity that he had to go through. And that's what you get. That's what you get when you come to college. You know, you're basically taking that time to go from an 18-year-old boy to a 21, 22-year-old man. And I think that's what we've seen out of Lucky this year. We've seen the maturation of his mindset, his mentality, his ability to stay patient, wait his turn, to continue to work his butt off. And now all of the physical attributes that he's always had is showing up on the football field. And that run that you saw from Lucky, the 50-plus yard run, that's Lucky Sutton. You give him a crease, he's always going to put his foot and come downhill. If you're tackling, he's always falling forward. But holy moly, if you give Lucky Sutton a crease and it turns into a foot race, good luck. Because most of the guys out there have cleats on, and Lucky has track shoes on. Lucky can run like the wind. So it was really cool to see him break that long run against Fresno State, because I think that's the piece that the Aztec fans, although Lucky's averaging 5+ yards a carry, they have yet to kind of see his breakout speed. And it's there. He is one of the fastest, most gifted athletes on that football team. And I think as soon as you break the first one, there's going to be more to follow.
Jordan Napier been, the other star of the offense for this Aztec team, been on the Blinikov, awards watch list. What does it mean for this team to kind of have the deep ball back in the offense and what he brings to the offense?
Yeah, you have to have it. We talked about it last week. Fletch and I did on the pregame show. One of the things that settles a quarterback down is knowing that you have a number one. There's one thing to have a receiving room by committee, and everybody in that room is going to have to play their role and play their part. But for a quarterback to know that anytime I drop back, I have a number one receiver that I can throw the ball to if he's double covered and he's going to come down with it or make sure nobody else comes down with it. He's always going to be in the right place at the right time. He's always going to do exactly what he's supposed to be doing. That's extremely comforting for a quarterback. And I think Jordan Napier has clearly distinguished himself as the number one receiver. And I think that's huge. I mean, I think that's huge for the passing game when you know who your go-to guy is. It opens up opportunities for the other guys in that receiver room, but it also makes the quarterback extremely comfortable knowing that he has a go-to guy on every play.
Now, JR, the world you live in kind of the world of NIL. You work a ton with Aztec Link. You've sort of been one of the guys on the forefront on this, and you're crazy knowledgeable about it. I feel like I learn a lot every Saturday. But one of the conversations we got into was about a guy like Jordan Napier, who we know going into this next offseason, going into last offseason, there was going to be SEC programs on the phone with him, trying to get him to come over. And the importance of NIL when you're talking about San Diego State is you got to make that decision tougher. So for people listening right now who obviously maybe not the Chase Fishers of the world, the big fish who are going to donate $1 million, $1 million plus to this program, but for the average person like myself or like Sammy, who we could say goodbye to $25 and invest it into a San Diego State program, what does that do for Jordan Napier, keeping him here for next year?
It's huge. I mean, it gives you a budget to have a conversation from. And Coach Lewis has been very transparent. He said, hey, if we have $4 to $5 million a year that we can use to retain our current roster and go out and pull some guys out of the portal, maybe bring in some high school recruits, that's more than enough money for us to be competitive. Because number one, we're going to get that San Diego discount, baby. People want to be in San Diego. We got the great weather. It's a phenomenal city to be in, known as obviously America's finest city. So you're going to get a lot of student athletes that want to come to and be in and play in San Diego. So you might get a little bit of an NIL discount just because of your location. Obviously, some of the other schools in the Mountain West can't say that, but we can happily say that. So when you sit down with a student athlete and you say, hey, I want you to stay at San Diego State, or I want you to come to San Diego State, what you need to be able to do is you need to be able to speak to not NIL, but NFL. Because if you have a student athlete that wants to play at San Diego State or you want to keep them at San Diego State, 9 times out of 10, that student athlete is going to have NFL aspirations. So probably you need a little bit of NIL to prove to him and show him, hey, listen, you may go somewhere else and make more money. But if your goal is to get to the National Football League, look no further than San Diego State. We put more guys in the National Football League than any other team in the Mountain West. So if your true goal is to get to the National Football League, you may take a little bit of a discount on your NIL in order to trudge your path to the NFL. But at the end of the day, if that's your true goal, we're going to get you there. And I think that's the conversation with Jordan Napier. That was the conversation with him last year. Hey, listen, you've developed into a fine wide receiver. Stay here. We're going to continue to develop you. And this year, Jordan's having a big year. He's going to be on the radar, I think, of a lot of programs out there. But if Jordan has another big year at San Diego State, Jordan Napier could easily find himself in the 4th or the 3rd or maybe even the 2nd round of the 2027 NFL draft. Does he get that same opportunity if he bypasses NFL path to go make 6 figures of NIL money at a school that maybe now he doesn't play at, right? So I think that's the goal for the Aztecs, for Sean Lewis, and for the San Diego community to know. We just need something. We need something $3 to $5 million a year that our coaching staff can have competitive conversations to retain their roster, to recruit a new roster, knowing that the goal isn't NIL, the goal is NFL, and those are the type of student athletes we want at San Diego State.
What's a player on either side of the ball that you feel like doesn't get talked about enough?
Oh, man, that is a phenomenal question. Let's start on defense. Owen Chambliss is an absolute rock star. If you look at Owen Chambliss, he's every bit of 6'4", 230 plus pounds. He can cover sideline to sideline. He's smart as a whip. He's tough as nails. I think a guy like Owen Chambliss is really playing himself into not only national conversation as one of the best linebackers in the country, but starting to talk himself into draftable conversations as well. He'll be an all Mountain West Conference linebacker, and right now I don't think there's enough people talking about him. On the offensive side of the ball, we talk a lot about LBC. We talk a lot about Lucky, and we talk about Byron and Christian Washington. Again, those guys are impressive guys as it pertains to their ability to keep the sticks moving for San Diego State. And I said that to say, like, you might think we talk a lot about Jaden Denigal. I don't think we're talking enough about Jaden Denigal. If you look back at this program, Ryan Lindley, obviously, who's the tight end coach for San Diego State, was kind of the last big traditional quarterback that the Aztecs had. And Ryan got an opportunity to be drafted into the National Football League and got a chance to compete at that level. I think Jaden Denigal is very similar to Ryan Lindley. There's a lot of things I think Jaden has to do and to continue to progress on. But you talk about the size and the stature and the leadership ability. I don't think we're talking enough about what Jaden Denigal can be as a second-year player in this program, based on how quickly he's matured and been successful in his first year as a true starter.
Hey, you think about his completion percentage, it's been going up every game. We know about the body. He has Josh Allen's body. It's the same measurables. It's just how far can he go? JR, you're the best, man. And by the way, goaztecs.com or azteclink.com is where you go to support this football program. I think JR gave you the best elevator pitch you can get. If you are thinking about one of those $25 donations, that's really all it needs to be. Hell, JR, you wouldn't say no to $5, would you?
Man, I say yes to $5 20 times a day. So absolutely would take that $25 and toss it into supporting the program, knowing that $25 could go a long way in making sure this program stays on the right track.
Yeah, man. It takes a village. It really does. Thankfully, we have guys like JR who are willing to do the work. Are you going to be hosting any sort of big grand parties, JR, for homecoming? What's the plan?
You know what, man? I'm so excited about homecoming. It's my favorite time of year. I tell people all the time, the older I get, the better I was. So this is 22 years of me being outside of San Diego State. And Ben, I get better and better every year. I mean, my yards go up, my completions go up, my receptions, my touchdowns. I think at this point in my career, I scored 100 touchdowns at San Diego State. I think it's somewhere around there. But
that's it. I
love this time of year to get to see my old teammates, to get to see a lot of the students that I attended San Diego State University with. Super, super excited to be a part of the festival.
What number did you wear at San Diego State, JR?
16.
Number 16. That's our caller number, Sammy, who's going to win a pair of tickets to go see San Diego State take on Wyoming at Snapdragon Stadium. JR and I will be there starting at 2:00 out right next to the Riverwalk block party. JR is going to have to say no to about 19 million people coming up offering him a shot of alcohol during the pregame show. But appreciate you, JR. I'll see you Saturday, man.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
J.R. Tolver, maybe the best wide receiver in Aztecs football history. Jordan Napier making a run at him, potentially, but need your help to keep him here. All right, J.R. Tolver gone. Caller number 16 is getting those Aztecs football tickets at 877-767-4760. Everybody else go to goaztecs.com. We'll wrap this thing up, get you ready for John and Jim. Coming up next, it's San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. I really do love everybody that texts this show, Sammy, and I'm so appreciative of it. I always am. You can text the show anytime you want, 70470. Start your message with team. Hell, first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is check the text line when I get into studio over on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This is a deplorable text message we just got from the 858, Sammy.
Yeah, this is... I love the text line too. It's like literally my favorite part about being on the radio. But this text
is foul. This is ugly. 858 text into the show says, if your family or friends serve you mac and cheese on Thanksgiving, just get up and leave. Find a Jack in the Box. Mac and cheese is something you give your children when your welfare check hasn't come in.
Oh my God.
This hurts me to my heart.
I guess I'm living off welfare checks then, because mac and cheese is one of the core principles of a Thanksgiving meal.
Here's the thing, 858, and I say this with all due respect, and when I say, I mean all due respect. You haven't had Sammy's mom's mac and cheese.
It is pretty crazy.
It is elite, is what it is. Back when we were doing Bar Car Fridays here, your mom catered one time and brought mac and cheese for the whole gang.
I'm not gonna lie, my mom makes damn good mac and cheese.
Everyone's mom makes the best mac and cheese. I think everyone has that moment where they're like, my mom is the best cook because of the mac and cheese that she makes. Sammy's mom actually makes the best mac and cheese.
It is pretty legit. I have gotten in many a fight at Thanksgiving dinner because leftovers have been given to guests. I had a whole argument with my family about this last week. They were talking about how we have to give leftovers because we're welcoming them into our home.
Screw that.
I go, excuse me.
Not with Angie's mac and cheese.
They got their
whatever.
They got their ass over here. I said, they're the ones that didn't have to clean up and get to leave. Hell no, you don't get leftovers.
All right, real quick. We need a 30-second review, Sammy. You're watching the new Jason Bateman show on Netflix?
Black Rabbit. Very good. Very good show. It's very kind of a thriller, intense thriller. Don't want to give anything away, but basically they own
Ozark's vibe?
It's from the creators of Ozark.
Which is Jason Bateman, I think.
Total Ozark. Yeah, total Ozark vibe. Basically, Jude Law kind of owns a restaurant in New York City. A lot of stuff goes wrong. Bateman's the kind of deadbeat brother. Very good show if you're looking for a little mini series on Netflix.
All right, I've been waiting a long time for today, but today was the release of the Internet Invitational, which is all the top golfers not on the PGA Tour, and actually some PGA Tour members who have been banned from the PGA Tour, the Wesley Bryan brothers. So I'm excited. I'm going home. It's like 3 hours and 40 minutes. I'm turning it on as soon as I get home today.
Wait, did you watch 8 yesterday?
No, I still haven't.
You know what I watched over the weekend? It was I'm blanking on Chad Powers. The text line recommended it. Actually pretty funny.
Yeah, well, it's the Eli Manning story. Like, he actually went and did this at a college, and now they're turning it into a TV show. I'll have to give it a shot, I guess.
760. This is a fantastic text.
No offense, but 858, you don't like Mac. We'll leave part of that text out. All right, we
760, yeah.
John and Jim are coming up next. See how that one goes. We're out of here. See you tomorrow.